What an interesting place it is. I'm Damir from Uzbekistan, from Let's Learn Language Center. So in this video we're going to talk about some of the interesting things in English with one of my friends, Clayton Skinger. He's from United States, from Virginia. So guys, this video is going to be so much amazing and your mind will be blown away, because we're going to primarily focus on how English learners are seen from the perspective of native speakers, which is interesting, right? So I have prepared many questions and I think that I will be answering all of the questions straight up. As I promised you, it's a great opportunity for you to learn more about English. So if you're interested, please continue watching this video. Talking about how to learn English, some strategies, some tips from a native speaker from United States, Clayton Skinger. And I'm Damir from Let's Learn Study Center. So a brief introduction of your personality and education in Japan, please.
Okay, so my name is Clayton Skinger. I'm American from Virginia.
Cool.
Moved here about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Easygoing guy. I get along with all different groups.
Yeah. So Clayton, could you please tell any information about your plans for future?
So,
like related to your studies. So you've been studying in a Temple University, right? For 4 years, and then you're about to finish. And then, what plans do you have for future?
Well, at first I want to get into recruiting.
Recruiting. Because
learning Japanese is kind of difficult for me.
Oh.
Right?
Especially kanji.
Kanji is nearly impossible. Like I know 50, maybe 100.
50 maybe 100.
Yeah, very difficult. But what I want to do is be an IT. So I used to be an IT consultant in America. I wanted to continue to do it here,
so
but the language barrier is huge because there's different types of Japanese, and aside from how we speak in English, we have casual, we have formal, we have informal.
Yeah.
Japanese has the same thing, but they also have like sectional Japanese.
Yes.
Ways that only IT and nerds speak compared to others. So like that's
sure.
a bit too much.
Yeah. So the next question is, let's move on. What role does English language play in a modern life? What do you think about it?
In Japan or?
No, just in general in the world.
It's the primary business language. So like even if you don't want to learn English for tourism purposes or educational purposes, it's necessary for business, because if you're an entrepreneur, you either have to hire somebody who speaks English, or you speak English in business.
It's like,
and I mean, it's huge in China. It's huge,
especially in China.
And one thing that China does specifically is that a lot of the CEOs and entrepreneurs and new startups, they speak English, but they still hire somebody.
Yeah. Because
it gives off the status and appeal, and is to verify that your employee is doing what he needs to.
Wow.
As well as providing a background, like a shroud, so that you don't reveal too much. So I've taught English for 2 years at GABA here in Japan, and one thing, well, no, not just at GABA, throughout Japan, I've taught like different places, from disabled children to housewives to businessmen, businesswomen, and there is no one easy way. There isn't one.
Maybe they have to practice.
You have to practice, but you have to find the method that works for you. Yes. Some people learn by amiation, or like some people are amiable, so like they want to.
You mean determined, right?
No, amiable means that you're kind of shy. You absorb, but you can't really speak. So with those people, that your listening comprehension gets very good very quickly, but you can't speak.
Yeah, but you can't speak. But you can just express your own idea.
So with those kind of people, like people that are amiable, you want to find somebody that makes you smile and laugh. It makes you be outgoing.
Oh,
So
wow.
with those types of people, usually the best way to learn English is by having a pen pal or a boyfriend or
Maybe
a girlfriend or
or
somebody that you can feel open and outgoing with, so that it brings out your practice. It brings out with
What's one of the things non-English speakers need to pay close attention to have a better conversation with native speakers?
Yeah, grammar is important. It's
Yeah.
very important. So is context, because if somebody like I have a dog, you know. So if I'm walking in the park and somebody comes up to me and says like dog, I'm gonna wonder what they're talking about.
Yeah.
What's like a dog? I'm gonna have my dog.
Yeah.
But are you acting like a dog? What does that mean? Oh, so I like dogs. You know, this small grammar mistakes can make a huge change, especially when there's no context.
Yeah.
So
Therefore,
the biggest thing that people learning English should learn is how to initiate the conversation.
Yeah.
Right. There's more ways than just excuse me, right? Excuse me is how you can get somebody's attention, and
yeah,
it's
it's
nice.
like a general language. Just excuse
Right.
me.
But it's overheard,
Yeah.
right? So if you really want to get somebody's attention in today's world, you can vary it a little bit. Pardon me. I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you have a second? Can I ask you guys a question? Just be out there,
Yeah.
right?
So you have to learn some ways of asking different questions from the person you don't know.
Right. Because even here in Japan, when somebody comes up to me and they say "excuse me," I'm like, okay, what is this? What's going on? What do I need to do now in English? Because this is not an English-speaking country necessarily. So what do I have to do now? But when I hear somebody say, "pardon me," or "hello, hi," even, right? It's when you have that variation, it creates a different emotional response. Especially "pardon me." "Pardon me" is so respectful that, like, when I hear it, I'm just like, where did you learn that? Because that's not. Another example that you really need is the and a, right? I like to go to park. Is the smallest thing, and we understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But that small difference of the park and a park is a huge difference.
Yeah.
That a lot of English learners don't really focus on, and
they just cut off this word.
Yeah, it creates problems.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go to a park. You go to a random park. It's like, no, I wanted to go to,
To the park.
Sumida Koen.
Being able to speak English, what kind of opportunities can people have?
One huge thing that you get from it is just business opportunities.
Opportunities.
At a minimum, you have business opportunities.
Yes.
From speaking in English, you can find international companies.
International companies.
All throughout the world that originated in Uzbekistan.
Yes.
Right? So, like, I mean, any one of those would take you if you speak English.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's your entry point.
Yeah.
It's also a good way to get started with connecting to a different culture. Right?
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to tell. Like, if you know English, it's kind of a way that enables you to know more about other culture. So when I was in Uzbekistan something like 10 years ago, I didn't know English, I didn't know anything about English, but I didn't know what the world looked like. So as I started learning English, I started kind of getting more information about United States, about United Kingdom, and it created me opportunity to learn more about other cultures. Mm-hmm. So that's
focus on this part and not my recommendation on the grammar. Because if your teacher has spent X amount of years with has a lot more experience than I do.
Yeah.
I'm novice. I'm a novice at best, right? But one thing that I notice and that I empathize with is that when I see a foreign traveler here in Japan, right, and they speak like Spanish or French, but they don't speak English.
Yeah, that's the point.
I get worried. I'm like, how are they able to maneuver? How are they able to communicate and stuff like that? Because this, most countries that you go to, I feel privileged as an English speaker because any country I go to, I can make my way with English.
You don't have any problem with
Exactly.
English.
Right? So that is another benefit. It's travel. Being able to go through. Because when I first moved to Japan, I didn't know half of the cultural differences that I do now.
Yes. It's the unique country.
Yeah, because when going back to the business opportunities, as an example, how they conduct interviews here is completely different. How you treat your superiors at a bar is different.
Like to your respect.
Yeah, exactly. Because in America, whenever I was out drinking with my bosses, I would just say, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
Right? But here it's different. I sit down at a table, I pour his drink, I order his food and all that stuff, and his or her, right? But his in my experiences. So then they get shocked and they're like, "Wow, how do you know this?" Because obviously I'm not Japanese, so.
But you have been living here for a long time.
Not that long, and since I don't speak Japanese, it makes it more difficult.
But at least you know the culture.
So imagine, like, as yourself, like, from somebody from Uzbekistan who speaks English, you come over, and you start talking to a company at first in English.
Yeah.
You start doing all these cultural habits. They get shocked. They're impressed. That's all you need. It's an impression.
That's exactly true. Okay. The next question is really interesting. I think you might like. What's one of the differences between American English and British English?
Oh man, this is going on the internet? I used to have a British manager. I would get lessons on the bastardization of English language.
Really?
Yeah, on how Americans have made it terrible, have made it a bad language.
Yeah. So as far as I know, American people, maybe not like 50% of American people don't like British English. Right?
And British don't like American English.
Yes, maybe that's probably true.
It is true, but there's not. There are some significant differences. The biggest one is accent.
For example, general English is the same, right? What about slangs?
Oh, slang. Oh, I'm not savvy on British slang.
So you're not
honestly.
quite sure.
On British slang, not too savvy. I mean, I know that there's differences in vocabulary, such as what we consider chips.
Chips, yeah.
Right. Their chips is fries.
Yeah.
My chips is potato chips.
So trash,
Right.
rubbish.
Or trash and rubbish.
Yeah.
Or bin. Like,
Yeah.
I've never said the word bin.
Yeah. So American people do not say that.
Right? No, we just say trash.
Yeah, you just say
or
trash.
garbage.
Or
But
garbage, yeah.
Depends on where you're from. But
Yeah.
just trash is the general term. And the one of the other key differences is it's not necessarily what you hear, it's what you read. Right? Like color and color.
Color and color.
Right. It's just that we take out the you.
What about hello? Hello.
You can avoid that and just say hi.
Yeah, you can, yeah. So this is going to be the last question for part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Could you please give any possible suggestions and wishes for the students in Uzbekistan who are learning English?
So the suggestion that I really want to push is involvement, right? You want to try and get involved with English, start using it. This is what I should be doing myself for Japanese. You should try and get involved. I remember watching a video of a gentleman learning English by himself, over 60 years old. He put sticky notes on everything in his house. So like curtain, he wrote curtain.
Yeah, I used to do that.
And then he would say like close curtain, right? And do these things to get involved in English because he had nobody to talk to.
Yeah, you have to create your own world of English.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's one thing that I would really recommend is that you get involved with using English.
Yeah, like change.
Right.
Change the language of the phone is the way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of the ways.
And another one that I've seen particular success with, especially with Temple University students, is that they've learned something in English. Right? Time is precious. We don't have a whole lot of time in our world, especially with how it's moving so fast. So if you learn a subject in English, you're learning two things at once. You're learning a skill as well as a language.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm doing the same thing, trying to learn cooking in Japanese. Like, I'm trying to become a better cook, but I need to do it in Japanese.
So, yeah, in order to learn how to cook, you need to learn a lot of vocabulary for cooking.
Exactly.
And then you just get.
And then I have to describe my dish because my fiance wants to eat it, right?
So I used to work in a restaurant like when I came here first. So I didn't know Japanese very well, but I learned a lot of vocabulary for cooking in the kitchen.
Exactly, because you got involved and you were learning a skill at the same time. Well, actually, in that case, you weren't learning a skill; you were practicing a trade. But
yes,
that's another good example. That's a good suggestion
that's
too.
Kind of what you mean is you have to create your own environment and get
Yeah.
involved in that environment, right?
Yeah, because if you don't use it and all you do is take in, you'll be stuck in the same situation as I am with
Yeah.
Japanese, where you can hear
I
what
don't
everybody's
think your
saying.
Japanese is like.
It's pretty bad.
So
So
it is fluent.
when I can hear and understand what's being said, but then when I go to respond, I need her to translate.
That sounds good.
So yeah, hybrid communication.
Hybrid communication. Okay, so here's the part 3. Most common American slangs used on a daily basis. So I want you to tell us, if it's possible, some slangs that are commonly used in United States. So I don't want students to use the old-fashioned slangs that have been used before but not used now, right?
Common ones that you hear every day is they honestly they seem like regular vocabulary nowadays,
Yeah.
right? Because they're used so often. Things like awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome is actually a slang term. It means amazing or cool. Well, cool is also a slang
Cool.
term, but like amazing or brilliant is awesome, right? But we say it can be used in a sentence. It can be used by itself. Hey, yo, what's up?
Hey yo.
What's up?
Hey yo, what's up? So
Things
so
like that.
where do people use what's up especially? Like,
I use what's up almost every day.
For
whenever
everybody?
Yeah, for everybody.
is that
If
appropriate?
so, if I'm talking to somebody that I want to know what's going on, or like what are they up to, what are they doing,
Yeah.
you know, how are things going, things like that. What's up? I use it more in responses than I do in initiation. So
Ah,
in
yeah.
initiation, I'll ask you like, what are you up to now,
Yeah, whatever.
right? Or how have you been? Or
just like you
but-
wrote me an hour ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wrote you first, and then you wrote
Yeah, I
me
was like,
back.
what's
What's
up?
up?
Right? So like when somebody says hey, it's like,
So
what's up?
it actually includes some words like how are you doing? So where are you? Maybe.
It's so
What
many
have you
different
been
things.
doing?
It really is just a general response to
Oh.
get
To get into the conversation.
yeah,
maybe.
because what is up is like it is like
What's up?
it really should be used for like what do you want,
Yeah.
right? But saying what do you want has this negative connotation to it, being like, you know, you're bothering me.
Yeah,
What is it
got
now, right?
it.
What's up is just like
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
up?
I'm here.
What happened?
Yeah,
What happened?
tell me.
How are you doing?
like
Tell me.
what's next? What's the next in the
What's next?
conversation? Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Right?
So
But-
good example.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. And then depending on where you are in America, you're gonna hear people make a joke, right? So like if you say what's up, they're gonna say the sky, right? Because it's a little childish, but it does happen. And
Yeah, it
depends
does
on the
happen for
area.
everybody.
It does happen. It depends on the area.
Yeah.
Because last August I heard it for the first time in years, and I was like shocked. But California, man,
California.
everything's in California.
So you're from Virginia.
Yeah, I'm from Virginia, so I'm from the South, where like, we have this
Okay,
country
cool.
accent.
Next one. What do you think?
Slang
What
on
about
the
what about
spot.
hanging out?
It's difficult. Hanging out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to hang out soon?
So if I'm
That's
not
a common
mistaken,
one.
hanging out is just like having a conversation with your friend, or
Well, hanging out just means to be together.
be together.
Yeah. So like, example, right? If I wanted to play games with my friend, I'll be like, "Do you want to play games?" Right? Because we have the internet. We can just connect and we play online. But if I wanted to be with my friend and play video games, I'm like, "Hey, do you want to hang out and play You can't play games?"
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
Like,
Like,
hanging out.
do you
in
wanna be
itself
together
means
and play
be
games?
together?
Be together
Yeah.
and do something.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. What about when you're alone at home and then someone is knocking at the door? So what are you doing? I'm just hanging out. It's not really
kind of
possible, right?
uncommon now.
So you have to be someone.
So nowadays, I mean, this might be a recent change too, because I have heard that before, where people say hanging out, as in like I'm just hanging out. But now we say chilling. So like I'm chilling.
Chilling.
Yeah, it just means to relax.
Just relax. Just
Right.
doing nothing.
Yeah, it's like, you know, an item in the fridge that's chilling,
Cool.
just sitting there
Awesome.
doing nothing. Right.
I started using this word.
Right? But yeah, I mean, you could say that. I don't think it's as common anymore. I think if somebody says, you know, like, hey, what are you up to now? Not much. Not much is what we always respond with. It's a generalized term. It doesn't tell them what you're actually doing.
Not much.
Yeah, not much means you are doing something, but you're not saying what. and it's
Yeah,
not a
you
lot.
are doing something, but kind of you're keeping yourself away from
Yeah.
telling it exactly, right?
Yeah, it's like a guys, but it also just is like a placeholder for like that you're not that busy or it's not important.
Yeah, it's not important to tell someone else about what you're doing.
Because like if my friend said, "Hey, what are you doing right now?" I said, "Not much," and he invited me to drinks, I'd leave.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is not important.
Yeah,
I can leave.
Yeah.
A big one that we have now, if you go to England, it might not be as bad. I can't really say for the entire country, but if you go to America, there's this big issue on gender right now, right? Gender, like male, female, like transsexual, and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole, and all the different types of genders. There's a lot of different types of genders, and I am no expert. I've taken a class on it, but it's still a little bit too much for me to understand.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I will not give any statements that offends anybody. Their gender is their choice by how they feel in their mind. But you want to be careful with the terms like girl, boy, man.
Oh.
As in terms of just using it, because like for example, when something bad happens, I'm like, man. As in like an excuse of the word dang or
man,
you know,
like what are you
bad
doing,
things. Just,
man?
Kind of, yeah. It's kind of like the start of that, but then I just extend it.
Oh, yeah,
right? Is what I've heard people say in my area of America for a very long time. And then I have a lot of friends that are girls, right? Sorry, Satomi. But I have a lot of friends that are girls, right? And so sometimes I'll act like, well, it's not fine for my fiance. She doesn't like that, right? But I'll act like one of the girls, right? So like when something like weird happens or I get some weird information, I'll be like, girl, you stop, right? And things like that, those terms, while they're used generally, some people don't like it.
Yeah, some people don't like it, so
right?
you have to be like careful.
You just wanna watch out for it. So like if you're learning those responses, try not to use them.
Yeah.
Try to stay as general as you can.
Because they're names.
But it's good to vary, like I said earlier. So like I said just a second ago, like man, you can say dang instead, or crap, or shoot. Shoot is the much better word to use.
Shoot?
Shoot.
How do you spell that?
I like the verb shoot, like to shoot a gun.
Oh, yeah.
But we say shoot instead as in like...
So what does it really
oops,
mean? Shoot.
Oops. Or, like I made a mistake.
Ah, yeah.
Or I missed a chance.
Shit. Oops.
Yeah.
Got it.
So like, you know, the tickets to the movie theaters are sold out. You say shoot, and then, oh, what's wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Can't buy any tickets to the movies.
So you mess up something and then, oh my god, shit.
Or something is, or you missed something.
Yeah. Got it.
Something like that is much better to say. And then,
not much.
Busted.
Busted. I know this word.
Busted.
Busted. Right. When the police touch you, right?
Yeah.
So am I correct?
Yeah. But busted is used for anybody being caught.
Anybody being caught.
Anybody being
for
caught whatsoever,
anything.
right?
For anything.
So like if I'm holding onto a secret, for example.
Secret.
Right. If I'm holding onto a secret, like busted.
Oh, I'm just busted. I got busted by the policeman.
No, just busted.
So do you think
you just say it one word, just busted.
Is it informal or formal?
In that sense, it's informal. In that sense, so like if I was caught in a lie by my fiance, if I was caught in a lie, I'd say, oh,
busted.
Right? And then she would know, like, yeah, you're lying.
yeah. Thank you so much.
So that's a fun one. But.
So these common slangs are actually used in the United States, in Virginia, especially.
Virginia, especially, but in Virginia, I mean, there's a lot more. There's a lot more, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head.
Yeah. It's like really difficult to think about every word. You say it and like.
Because they just happen. It just happen.
It just happen. Depending on the situation, it just comes to your mind.
Exactly.
Even if you are a native speaker, sometimes you forget the word. So.
Right. Yeah. So the biggest thing with slang is don't try to use it. Don't like actively try to use slang.
Yeah.
Learn the language.
So when the situation comes up,
because then you'll hear it and learn it, right? If you try to actively use slang, you're gonna end up using like old terms that are archaic that were like popularized by YouTube or old articles online.
Yeah.
You don't want to use old slang because then people look at you like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Right? So
sometimes people do not understand what's going on there, what the conversation is going on.
Yeah.
If the person uses slangs
there's slang that my grandpa uses from his time that I don't understand it.
Yes.
I can't talk to him very well.
So Clayton Skinger from Virginia, once again, thank you so much for answering the questions that were quite weird and interesting. So thank you for taking your time and thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Yeah.
No worries. Anytime you need any help, just ask. All right.
Thank you so much. I don't know how to finish it, but I will do something.
I'll give you a fun fact.
Fun fact?
Yeah, my last name is Skinger. Not Skinger. It's Skinger.
Skinger. Oh my goodness, that's my mistake.